World Cup under 17. That was in Trinidad and Tobago, 2000. We came second. So and after then I was invited to the Super Eagles. Then I played my first match against Kenya, my first cap for the Super Eagles against Kenya in National Stadium, and I have a debut goal in that match. So after then I was picked to the Senior World Cup 2002 Korea Japan.
So since then, have you retired? Have you retired from football?
Well, actually, in life, there is some stage you reach, you retire. But as for my own sake, it's not permanent time for me to retire in football. But sometimes situation will come around, challenges will come. So you quit the game early. When you are still active to play football, you quit it because of.
Why are you quitting?
Because of the challenges of my eyes problem that I'm passing through.
When did that start?
I'll start in France when I was in France.
What were you doing then in France?
Playing in the second division then in Niort FC in France.
How did it start?
It started suddenly. I didn't see where. Then we have to go for checkup, specialists. When we go from one specialist to another, they say my case is complicated. They have to operate the two eyes before I can start seeing with one. Yeah.
So have you undergone the operation so far?
Yeah, I've done the operation in Paris. Then.
So you can only see with one side now, one eye.
With one eye now, the left side.
Wow. So since then, what have you been doing since you have quit football?
My brother, things have been hard. But in any situation you find yourself, just give thanks to God. And when you believe in God, the rainy time will soon come. People will say this and that, a lot of things, but I don't care about what they say. Because that will make you move forward, push hard in life. So.
But apart from, I know you're a professional football player and you do that, passionately. But did you at least do another? Was there another thing you were doing apart from playing football?
No.
Professionally, only football.
Only football. That's my career. Yeah. So I'm working out on something. Maybe I can go for coaching course. Have the certificate. I have to work around football.
But are you getting support from Nigerian Sports Ministry or any of your colleagues?
Well, Osaze has been there for me. Osaze, Olofinjano, Miwa Lawan, Latif Yusuf, a lot of people have been there for me. And from the ministry, NFF, nothing yet. But,
But did you communicate to them? Are they aware of your...
They are aware of everything, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so as it stands right now, the last time we spoke, you said you didn't have transport to even move from your house to anywhere. Is it that bad? How are you surviving every day?
Well, it takes the grace of God, and I appreciate God for that. My wife, she's been there for me. She's been helpful with me. She's a very nice lady, so I really appreciate her a lot.
So to go for your coaching course now, you would need, what would you need, and who are you counting on, or what are you relying on?
At the moment, I'm counting on God, because people will promise and fail, so I don't rely on people. I know that I will pray. When I pray a lot, help will come from nowhere. I believe that. Yeah.
So who was the coach at the time you last played for Nigeria?
That was in Christian Chukwu.
Is he aware of this predicament?
Yeah, he's aware.
Any intervention, did he try do any intervention on your behalf?
Nobody, I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't do, I don't know.
Was there no insurance plan or policy as of the time you were a football player in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, I don't know. The NFL can answer that question. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the last word you want to say now? Maybe you want to talk to Nigerian government or Nigerian Sports Ministry or Nigerians who are your fans. What do you want to say to them?
What I want to say to Nigeria, the oncoming footballers, that's who the people I want to talk to. The oncoming footballer, they should invest wisely. They should use my own as an example to avoid I die no in future. They should invest wisely so that you can say you will play this football for a long. Anything can come along the road and you squeaked.
As of the time you were playing, were there opportunities for you? Did you make money like you could invest?
Yeah, I invested. I have a house on my own. It's my house. I'm living in my house. So I give
Nigeria?
I started playing from Nigeria from the under 17 level.
What year was that?
That was 2001, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah.
How many international football competitions have you represented Nigeria?
I represent Nigeria in the under 17 Nations Cup. We are the first set to collect the Nations Cup 2001 in Seychelles. And we represent Nigeria in the World Cup under 17. That was in Trinidad and Tobago 2001. We came second. So and after then I was invited to the Super Eagles. Then I played my first match against Kenya, my first cap for the Super Eagles against Kenya in National Stadium. And I have a debut goal in that match. So after then I was picked to the Senior World Cup 2002 Korea, Japan.
So since then, have you retired? Have you retired from football?
Well, actually, in life, there is some stage you reach, you retire. But as for my own sake, it's not permanent time for me to retire in football. But sometimes situation will come around, challenges will come, so you quit the game early. When you are still active to play football, you quit it because of.
Why are you quitting?
Because of the challenges of my eyes problem that I'm passing through.
When did that start?
I'll start in France when I was in France.
What were you doing then in France?
Playing in the second division then in Niort FC in France.
How did it start?
It started suddenly. I didn't see where. Then we have to go for checkup, specialists. When we go from one specialist to another, they say my case is complicated. They have to operate the two eyes before I can start seeing with one. Yeah.
So have you undergone the operation so far?
Yeah, I've done the operation in Paris. Then.
So you can only see with one side now, one eye.
With one eye now, the left side.
Wow. So since then, what have you been doing since you have quit football?
My brother, things have been hard. But in any situation you find yourself, just give thanks to God. And when you believe in God, the rainy time will soon come. People will say this and that, a lot of things, but I don't care about what they say. Because that will make you move forward, push hard in life. So.
But apart from, I know you're a professional football player and you do that, passionately. But did you at least do another? Was there another thing you were doing apart from playing football?
No. I don't.
Professionally, only football.
Only football. That's my career. Yeah. So I'm working out on something. Maybe I can go for coaching course. Have the certificate. I have to work around football.
But are you getting support from Nigerian Sports Ministry or any of your colleagues?
Well, Osaze has been there for me. Osaze, Olofinjano, Miwa Lawan, Latif Yusuf, a lot of people have been there for me. And from the ministry, NFF, nothing yet. But,
But did you communicate to them? Are they aware of your...
They are aware of everything, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so as it stands right now, the last time we spoke, you said you didn't have transport to even move from your house to anywhere. Is it that bad? How are you surviving every day?
Well, it takes the grace of God, and I appreciate God for that. My wife, she's been there for me. She's been helpful with me. She's a very nice lady, so I really appreciate her a lot.
So to go for your coaching course now, you would need, what would you need, and who are you counting on, or what are you relying on?
At the moment, I'm counting on God, because people will promise and fail, so I don't rely on people. I rely on that I will pray. When I pray a lot, help will come from nowhere. I believe that. Yeah.
So who was the coach at the time you last played for Nigeria?
That was in Christian Chukwu.
Is he aware of this predicament?
Yeah, he's aware.
Any intervention, did he try do any intervention on your behalf?
Nobody, I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't do, I don't know.
Those things, very emotional story. Each time I watch this one and I feel so touched. It's just what it is. I don't know. Is it a maltreatment from the Nigerian Football Federation? I'm not going to put on that. I'm not going to put that blame on them. I'm already sounding very emotional. I'm sounding so down. It's a lot for that man, Femi Okpabumi, big time player. We know his story. He was part of the Nigerian World Cup setup. But let's delve into the major story of the day. We need to start with that very one. No disrespect to anybody. But that's how I feel. That's how touching it is at this point in time. That man is really going through a lot. And I think the last word he said was the the most important thing, the advice of the people currently playing football recently, because you just remember playing the game and before you know you're done. And when you're done, you're like, oh, I'm done. What about investment? I think he just owned a house. That's for probably just a house in, I think somewhere in Ogun State or Ibadan or thereabout. Yeah, I think Ibadan. Yeah, he owned a house at this point in time. But let's talk about this because you already know that football-loving Nigerians have been waiting just like me with bated patience for the NFF to inform us, inform them, inform me who the new coach of our dear Super Eagles is. Now, our collective wait seems not to be ending anytime soon. That's my opinion, please. Not with the NFF helping matters with this solidarity science, which makes our wait more hypertensive and then strangulating. Now, recently, they spoke to us, but it's on a foreign coach talk, sponsorship deals. Are we going to get the man? Do we have the money? All of these are the talks. Now, because Nigerians don't really understand the reason or cause for the delay. I like to say this again. That's my opinion, please. Don't quote anyone on this. Hold me responsible. Let me say this. I think that's more to what's on the inside than we know on the outside. And Nigerians are beginning to mutter aloud that the unnecessary delay in the appointment of a next Super Eagles coach after the exit of a foreign coach, the Pesero, you know the story. This presents grave danger to our qualification to the next World Cup. And also, let's not fail to remember that we are starting the crucial World Cup qualifiers almost afresh for March as the foreign coach that led us through the earlier two disastrous qualifier where the Eagles fumbled has since abdicated his contract with us and left the country. However, we must therefore remember that, that's the man, that the new coach who will be coming with his own ideas, or who will be coming, who will be having, will come with his own ideas and vision for the Super Eagles, and he would definitely need some time to blend a new team that I believe will be away from the current wholesale foreign-based players deployed by the departed Pesero, who backfired both for the coach and the nation. He did well for the Nations Cup. We got to be runners-up. Now, these important reminders are what is making me and Nigerians very worried, because if we do not prepare well for the next World Cup qualifier in March, we might just as well bid goodbye to the next World Cup. Nigerians are raising serious concerns about why is it taking the NFF a long time to appoint the coach of the senior national team, the biggest brand. We saw the very late appointment of Ladan Bosso as the coach of the Flying Eagles to the African Games, and you saw the embarrassing results. That's what late appointment can do. What makes you feel it won't happen again in this Super Eagles setup? Now, my question is, like to the NFF, what is causing the delay in the appointment of the new coach? What's causing the announcement of a new coach? Let's talk about football legend Segun Odegbami MON, 1980 Nations Cup winner, he's been talking about this a couple of times. He's voiced out his concern on the delay. I recall one of the time I had him on the show. I think it was about 3 months ago or 4 months ago, thereabout, on the radio, our radio, VOP FM, Voice of People FM. Right, that's the frequency 90.3, Lagos, Nigeria. We had a chit-chat and he told me that this body that we are talking about is not just about Ibrahim Guzar and his colleagues. No, it's a federation owned. So it's our thing. But you know that the football legend again has voiced out his concern on the delay, admonishing the NFF that the appointment of a coach for the Super Eagles is not a rocket science, but a simple decision to make and announce to Nigerians within the shortest time to enable the Super Eagles start, getting ready for the qualifier, which we have started so badly. Now, also respected and knowledgeable football minds have also said exactly the same thing, that the unnecessary delay in the appointment for the next coach of the Super Eagles is hurtful to our World Cup qualification chances. Yes, the delay in the appointment of a Super Eagles coach is indeed confounding because the complexities of the matter of who to appoint have been sorted out, or should have been sorted out long ago, since Pesero left, because we knew he was going to leave. Now, some Nigerians also have made their choice on the next Super Eagles coach. Some of them are wanting a local, let's say indigenous coach for the Super Eagles, a Nigerian coach who knows our country well, our people, our football culture, and our pattern, and most importantly, a Nigerian coach with the avowed passion to serve his fatherland. Now, an indigenous coach who will sit down here in the country and watch out on our league, the MPFL, the Nigerian Premier Football League, our matches for weekend, and scouts the many gifted players who play in our home leagues. I have personally thought hard on the possible cause of the delay in the appointment and announcement of the new coach to Nigeria. Who is the right man? We are still waiting, and we are asking. All my deep thoughts on the reason on the delay have not yielded any positive thoughts. Like, I'm not even thinking well on this part. Now, quickly, let's talk about this. We have said it countless times that the records of the past foreign coaches of the Super Eagles have not shown that they are better than our indigenous coaches. Do you understand? You can, if you want to check it out, you can still see, but it's arguable, right? Now, not forgetting that our clear economic situation cannot afford the payment of a foreign coach, which is not necessarily importation items, as we have a lot of indigenous coaches out there to do the job. But I think that's one thing I learned recently when Ikechukwu talked to me. My guest I had on the show yesterday, he's even here with me in the studio, but camera will still come. He said something to me, and I would buy into that. He said, we have local coaches, but they failed to grow themselves. They failed to grow themselves even with a short time. At least some of our coaches should even be managing countries like maybe Malian side, Tanzania, Kenya, just, you know. But the word is, please, NFF, save the nation unwarranted suspense. Save the nation this unwarranted suspense and torture, because it's like a torture for me, and give us the next Super Eagles coach without further delay. Thank you. No disrespect to Brian Muzokuzao and his people, his colleagues. This is the Sports Republic Show on the Voice of the People TV, and I'm happy to have you join me as we tackle these serious issues together. I remain your host, and you already know, my name is Kizike. Let's get into it properly. We'll be having our guests join us from Abuja. Yes, in Abuja. So it's more like we're going to travel to Abuja, and we'll just be there together. In the person of Sylvanus Ofekun, we should have had him some time ago, but you know, one of those like Nigerian Network will go, we can say he was off at that point. But today, great that we'll be having him, and I think he's already live with me. Sylvanus, good morning. Great to have you join us. Welcome to the Sports Republic Show right here on the Voice of the People TV. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being part of the show. But I'm not Sylvanus. It's not. So I didn't see.
I not to see you well, though. Arinze, it's you. And you allow me to give all this hype. Oh no, you can't do that. I just saw you now. I'm not even to see you well. You know, Arinze, you know, say the economy. You know the NFF matter. I'm not going to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a minute anyway since we last did this, and again, like you said, we're still putting our hands together, all hands on deck, on who's going to be the manager of the Super Eagles. So I forgive you. I know we're going through a lot with the Super Eagles. Hopefully by next time your eyes will open. So thank you.
I better not change the name, not Mr. Value, so that reason see, this is even affected way for back. If anything will happen now for football and NFL. All right, let's get into it properly. We have our live guest on the show as well today. Ikechukwu, great to have you join me. Welcome, great to have you join us as well.
Good morning, kids.
Why are you laughing?
The name.
The name?
The name mix up. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's talk. Let's start with the man away from home. It would interest you to know that the man you have on your screen also is an integral part of the station as well. And this is one of those personalities keeping it, holding it down very well in Abuja, yes, Nigeria, and for the sports crew, just like we do here in Lagos. So let's get to top points. Quickly, I want to know, I don't know, I'm just asking, do you have an idea why the NFF is delaying the, Super Eagles coaching, job, Arinze? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Go on.
Like I said, a lot of issues and why Super Eagles of Nigeria haven't got to the new man to the House of Power here in Abuja. One of the major issue is funding. From reports we got at the NFF, also of the pay of the new Super Eagles of Nigeria. Secondly, we hear that the NFF are strongly behind getting a foreign manager who can tinker the affairs of the Super Eagles. So, first of all, it's money. That is one. And after that, a foreign manager. You have to get a foreign manager you think will suit the affairs of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who will continue in quote from where Jose Peseiro left off, where he won the silver medal at the African Cup of Nations, and what we've seen so far from Austin Cerezo Eguavon. So they haven't found the right man yet, and even if they have names in the back of their head, we hear they can't announce yet until they get the money involved. It's not about getting the money, it's about so they're speaking lies with private sectors, they're lies with a lot of supporters, NFF trying to see who can be in charge, who can take charge, or at least of the remuneration of the manager, at least for the next 1 year. I think that's the major issue. So far, we have to make it with us in Cerezo Eguavon. Good news is that there will be no more games until we get set to the like you said, World Cup qualify in March. So there's like 3 months, and everyone be thinking, oh no, they're like 3 months to think around this thing. So I think that's the major issue. The major issue you just can't hire a manager if you can't pay. And most of we're hearing we want a foreign manager, which means more cost. It's more cost effective. It's more cost less cost effective, and that means more money will be spent, and so they need
Eguavon to stay. If they say Eguavon should continue, would you be a fan of that story? Would you like it? I'm just saying.
The fact that he's not here today, he's here not there, and the speculation around his contract wouldn't allow him to give his 120%. So for me, I'm very fully in support of him getting the job. I don't think he has done badly. I think the only purple patch in his, his CV recently the World Cup qualifier, which we know we can go back when they drew to Ghana here in Abuja and lost that ticket. Is the fact that they lost the last game at home here in the Nations Cup qualifier. But before then, the result has been quite commendable. Winning here in Uyo, going away to pick points, going away to win games, and I don't think he's done badly. I think he should be given a job. At least for the African Cup of Nations. He's proven he can handle and manage the job. I'm a big fan of Cerezo. I think the players respect him. He respects him. He has a mutual understanding. He respects the players as well. The players love him. They play for him, and I think it's something that can work. Yes, I will not be surprised if he's not given the job. Like I told you, the NFL wants a foreign manager. They are insistive on that, but I think he should be given the job. But like I said, it depends there are a lot of permutations and factors that depend whether Eguavon will be given the job. So wait to see what the NFL wants to do. But I'm one of those who believe give the job to handle the Super Eagles.
Right, so all hands on deck. We'll still wait to know what comes to play on that very one. Before we talk about the man we have live here in the studio, Ikechukwu, who is here to also do justice to this. Let's go to the next one where NFF, we already know the story, keep Nigerians waiting for too long. And let's talk about this before we dissect into it properly. The NFF leadership has continued to be as secretive, or let me use the word, the leadership has continued to be as secretive as a cult, indecisive, and as a matter of fact, lacking the initiatives to move Nigerian football forward. I'm just saying, because it's clear. Now, firmly, we learned according to report that the NFF president, Ibrahim Muzukuzo, alongside his top executive, always dashed to the sport minister at that point as it concerns the appointment of a coach for the Super Eagles. I'm talking about then, where we had the office, although now we have the new one, which we believe Nigerians are thinking is the right one, NSC, National Sports Commission. Engagement of a foreign coach that the NFF board had unanimously voted for. Now, this was just weeks after the same NFF had maintained that they do not have the cash to hire an expatriate. That's the question now. Now, what is really going on? Where did the money come from? They now want a foreign coach. What is their budget for a new foreign coach? Are they still hoping on the federal government to pay for the new coach? What are they doing on their own to foot the bills of the new coach? what is clear, even to those who are supposed to run our football or on behalf of this one, is that some time ago we learned about the shortlisted foreign coaches. But do you know that these guys will not take the 15 million naira amount that Finidi George earned? Short period of time. Are you aware? But let me talk with Ikechukwu quickly on the show. Ikechukwu, great to have you. Yeah, again. Yeah. We want what? A foreign coach. Not be me and you now. They say they need foreign coach, the NFF, the body governing the game. Where is the money coming from? They are sorting out for sponsors and time is going. Mouths keep waggling. What are we waiting for?
Okay, so let's first talk about sponsorship in national team. It's actually not an aberration. We've seen it some countries, like for example Argentina. Right. You see them when they train the national team. You know that one of the biggest beverage companies in the world is their major sponsor. Yes, we have this sort of things, but then it's all about you branding your house first before you get these brandings. Yeah. Now you don't just go cut, marketers or big companies for them to come help you, sponsor your team and carry your team. Yeah. You don't just go do that. You have to put your house in order, and that's one thing I believe that NFF have failed to do over time. But then let's talk about the fact that we actually need a foreign coach. Now, what kind of level do we need? We need a grade A foreign coach. Like he was saying about Cerezo. The truth is, if you go by the numbers, what he's done so far, you don't want to say he's done badly. But then there's a way the Super Eagles play. Okay, if you want to talk about how far he's fared, why did we sack Pacero? It took us to the Nations Cup final. He did well if we talk about what he's done. But it's because of the way he plays. The Super Eagles don't play that way. It's not just about winning for us. It's all about enjoying how we play and win. Cerezo is not offering that. Look at the way we played against Cheetahs of Benin Republic. If that incident didn't happen in Libya, would we have qualified going by last 2 games? That's a very big question, right? So for me, if we cannot get a foreign coach at this point, a lot of people might say, okay, I think the best shot for us is Yasia. We can actually add Cerezo to him. Of course, he's always been at the back of the whole process for the NFF. But then I'll stick to the fact that Siasa is the best man for the job. Siasa's style of play has always been better than any other Super Eagles coach that's handled the Super Eagles. Apart from, of course, the man who's actually started this whole thing, which is Clemens Westerhoff. Yeah. And I said the big boss also had a very good spell because of the quality of players he had. If you compare what he had with what we have today, most of our players are foreign-based. And the championship winning side in 2013, many of them, some of the likes of Sunday Mba, Eguike, some of the guys in the middle of the park, some of them are actually locally based. Obuabona, Omero was very inexperienced at that point. So all of those things are not as experienced as these ones, if you look at the level they were at that time. So the way the big boss managed them and the style of play they played, the Super Eagles Nigerians actually loved it. Right. We want to win, but also we want to enjoy football. Look at the way the Dutch play. That's how we play. So if you bring a Cerezo and just want to grind results, that's not the way we play.
So you think he lacks? He lacks the technical know-how? I mean, you think he lacks that flair?
It was obvious. Apart from the flair, see, naturally we have boys, Nigerians. Go to the street, watch us play. We like to play with flair. So when you give us any manager, you still see that flair. But the tactics of the coach will have to improve and bring the flair more. Now look at those 2 games. 2 of those games against Cheetahs of Benin and the Amavubis of Rwanda, the game was locked. We could not even break in. These guys don't even have the level of players we have. The likes of Ademola Lookman play against world-class defenders in Europe.
Yeah, true.
Victor Osimhen and the likes, they play against, but they cannot even break. We saw Alex Iwobi. How we see Alex Iwobi week in, week out for Fulham, how he actually plays and mesmerizes in the middle of the park. But playing Iwobi behind Ndidi for me was the height of it.
Okay.
Like how?
It's more like the banter you have in sports. It's not like we're having a fight. It's called banter. Arinza, you can hear him say this. I don't know if you want to go contrary. If it's out for now, we'll talk about that. But quickly, let's get on to the next one. The politics of hiring Super Eagles head coach. Let's delve into it quickly. Now, millions of football followers in Nigeria are disgusted with the present state of affairs in the country's senior football team. That's just what it is. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, the show continues. We'll tell you more about it. It's the politics in the game. Don't go anywhere, please. Stay with us.
I'm Femi Okpabumi, former Nigerian player.
Okay, good. When was the last time you played football for Nigeria?
That was 2005.
Okay, but about what time did you start playing for Nigeria?
I started playing from Nigeria from the under 17 level.
What year was that?
That was 2001, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah.
In how many international football competitions have you represented Nigeria?
I represent Nigeria in the under 17 Nations Cup. We are the first set to collect the Nations Cup, 2001 in Seychelles. And we represent Nigeria in the World Cup under 17. That was in Trinidad and Tobago, 2001. We came second. So and after then I was invited to the Super Eagles. Then I played my first match against Kenya, my first cap for the Super Eagles against Kenya in National Stadium. And I have a debut goal in that match. So after then I was picked to the Senior World Cup 2002 Korea, Japan.
So since then, have you retired? Have you retired from football?
Well, actually, in life, there is some stage you reach, you retire. But as for my own sake, it's not permanent time for me to retire in football. But sometimes situations will come around, challenges will come, so you quit the game early. When you are still active to play football, you quit it because of.
Why are you quitting?
Because of the challenges of my eyes problem that I'm passing through.
When did that start?
I'll start in France when I was in France.
What were you doing then in France?
Playing in the second division then in Niort FC in France.
How did it start?
It started suddenly. I didn't see where. Then we have to go for checkup, specialists.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and Q. I'm here to give you more. Let's talk NFF now. Politics of hiring Super Eagles head coach. Shout out to my man behind the scene. That's what the producer always tell you. 3, 2, 1, Q. Let's go. Now, millions of football followers in Nigeria are disgusted with the present state of affairs in the country's senior football team. Super Eagles, and by extension, the running of the game in the nation, is an introvertible fact. Now, let's talk about it. It's also an open secret that public interest on who becomes the next head coach for the 3-time African champion, talk about Nigeria, African champions, have waned dramatically following the inability of the country football governing body, Nigerian Football Federation NFF, to appoint a substantive coach after Finidi George resigned. Now, a big name, the Biso, yes. Now, let's talk about it now. Why is this taking long? That's one question people are asking. Why is it taking long? Notwithstanding the urgency of finding a substantive head coach for the Super Eagles to start groundwork before the next FIFA international window, it may take a little longer before a new expatriate coach will be appointed by the NFF. That's my opinion. Please don't say, I can't even say a word out of the station. So I can stand out for this. This is me saying it. This is my opinion. Now, interestingly, the politics of hiring a foreign coach for Super Eagles has assumed a new dimension with several interest groups not ready to be outdone by rival groups. Thus, neither the coaches who have applied for the vacant post nor those rumored to be interested have been officially contacted by the Federation, according to report. Now, a reputable source, like a news source, investigated this one, and investigations revealed that there are two camps in the football house, with each trying hard to produce the expatriate coach who will now be amenable to the Lucky camp. Now, let's talk about this. Aside these reasons, the main impediment to the appointment of a new coach for the Super Eagles is, like you heard my man say, the financial implication of hiring, the money, the financial implication of hiring an expatriate coach in the face of poor financial standings of the NFF. Months back, it was gathered that with the sports minister at that point, he made it crystal clear from the beginning that the federal government will not pick up the payment of the bogus salary and bonuses of the foreign coach or foreign technical advisor, better word. Now, they figured that with most of the federation's major sponsors and partners parting ways with them, hiring a foreign coach at this moment with the huge financial implications will be counterproductive at the long run. Just maybe. I will explain what I'm trying to say. The NFF want a foreign coach, no doubt, no problem. Bring it on. But I like to say it's not about getting the coach now. I don't want it to be after all is said and done. More is said and done. Can we continue? Can we continue that pace? Can we see? You know, me say you come pay me. Get one time, I don't want to call their name. Get one station, I don't want to call name. Welcome me that and say I can't work. I can't hear rumors say if I go there. They offered me big, right? Was big. And they said, if you make that move, they go people you like 6 months. You go be like, say, don't do Europe. But when they go, oh, you nobody go tell you, say, I miss my former workplace. And I said to them, I'm sorry, I'm not coming. So if I had gone for that salary that was attractive, it would have been a good one for me for months. But the duration of time, how long can they keep on the payment? It was gathered that the apostles of foreign technical advisors are now weighing their options because it's not possible for NFF to find a highly sought after technically and tactically sound foreign coach who will accept less than 70,000 US dollars. You know it. Or let's say that's 105 million naira monthly salary. Let's just at that point, I'm just approximately, which Pesaro was receiving when he was first appointed outside match bonus and allowances. We struggle to pay. He had us now. He weigh us down. He shake us. Now, this situation have combined to make the hiring of an expatriate technical advisor for Super Eagles a hard call for the federation that is always crying for paucity of funds to execute its project, and run its statutory programs. Ikechukwu, let's talk about this. How can we go from here? Maybe you can say it again, you said it before. Do we have this money? If we bring a foreign coach, can we pay him for this long? Can we keep up the momentum? That's the question.
See, Kizzy.
Right.
To be very honest with you, right? It's sad that we're in this situation. It's very sad. And I'll tell you something. If we have that money today, our advice, maybe someone woke up. Wait now. Maybe someone woke up.
Yeah.
Let's miss it. If our local coaches, if the likes of Celsia, or if they decide to stick with the government cannot take us there, let's just miss the World Cup. This is what I would suggest.
We intentionally missing the World Cup.
No, I say if they cannot take us there.
All right, okay.
That's worst case scenario, they cannot take us, so let's miss the World Cup. This is what I suggest. If you have that $150 million,
right.
Sorry, $150,000. That's a huge lot of money, you know, if you convert to Naira.
Yeah.
And this is what I suggest. Why can't we just adopt the style of Lee Kuan Yew? When Lee Kuan Yew took over power, you know, in Singapore.
Right.
Right. What did he do? He sent, you know, young Singaporeans to Europe to study, to understudy how things work. And they came back, they took charge of the country, and they made Singapore one of the best countries in the world today. Why can't we send young coaches, Nigerian young coaches, give them a project mandate, say, you know what, okay, we are sending you to La Masia, we are sending you to here, you are sending you to IS Academy, stay there for 4 years, break into their youth rank. You, when you come back, you set up an academy for Nigeria where we groom young players. You, when you go there, from there, go on and study these top managers. How much will it cost? Let's do a project let's be serious for once. Let's do a project for 10 years. Let's see. If you're not going to churn out coaches that will coach top teams in Europe, why do we like to think retrogressively as a people? It hurts me every day, every time we keep talking about these sort of things.
Yeah.
We're looking for foreign technical advisor. We want to do this. We want to do that. Now you go about cutting big companies to come sponsor you. Okay, at the end, just one World Cup. And then you go there and then perhaps you get knocked out from the group stage. Because of why? You don't even have a system that produces good players. You rely on, oh God, or the ones that traveled and then, you know, or the ones that their parents jackpot. When they got there, they gave birth to them and then they started growing. And if they like, you start begging them to come play for. When are we going to be tired of situations like this?
Yeah.
It's exactly what I'm saying. So if we keep talking about this, NFF is looking for money, how do we go about this, level of coaches we have? Guy, this is the only way out.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if we could get you that one, the throwback video where we had Ibrahim Mozokuzo. I think he was talking about the payments, the money, the salary, and talks about saying how, I don't know if we have that ready, the producer behind the scene, okay, if we have it, we can just run that. Let's bring that. So, because he talked so long, he said a lot. Okay, the problem we are having is, the problem we are having now is, because I think it's about, Guzon has said this is a process, but do we see, are they seeing what we are seeing?
That's the problem, right? See, one thing about Nigerians, or one thing about Nigerian football body, because that's the case now, or should I even say Nigerians generally, Nigerian government generally, one thing about them is they love to win battle. They forget that there are several battles in a war. Try to win the war, so you plan long term. Countries that have done it, they've shown that long-term planning is usually the end goal. You always succeed at the end.
Right.
Mohammed V Academy in Morocco.
Yeah.
He gave them the first semi-final ticket as an African nation. France started the Clairefontaine in 88. Yeah. 10 years later, they won the first World Cup. England started a project, of course, the one that the man who is currently the brain behind the Man United new project, Dan Ash was helped to start in 2012. A couple of years later, they made it to 2 Euro finals back to back. Before then, when last did England make any major finals? This thing is not, this thing we're discussing here is not rocket science.
Yeah. You
do it, it works. Give it 10 years, give it 5 years, you see the results. We can't even boast of a Nigerian that is fit to be the manager of a Swedish national team. We can't. We dare not. We can't even dream it.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You're getting upset.
I'm very, very upset.
Sincerely. When you came to the studio today, you looked very okay. But I noticed when I talk about, the more I'm talking about these things, you're getting upset.
It's because of the love I have for the team and for the country.
And for the country, right.
So it's sad to see us going back
and forth.
As in, like we are just rounding, moving in circles. It does not make sense.
Okay, let's go with some of the comments that we have. Let's quickly bring them because we just make, you could talk about this with me. We just keep your comments coming just here so we can read them out because we already know you are here with us. And so you know that we are following and you're following us. Keep them coming. So C that's come to say, NFF is toiling with us. They should stop gaslighting Nigerian cause. They don't have money. He said they should just go back to Iguavon or allow Siasia. No foreign coach will come with all our drama and lack of focus. He went as far as saying when NFF doesn't know how to market the Super Eagles and Nigerian football to get sponsors until the right people are at the helm of affairs, it will just be the same joke. Then Olugbenga Bamidele went as far as saying, still on the comment section, he said, keep them coming, he said, Nigeria was almost losing out of the 2002 World Cup. Ghana had to stop Liberia, a way to help Eagles. So politics of football has many components. You're nodding?
Yeah.
You're nodding? Okay.
I remember that.
Now, does they, Owamalam, I hope I got the name, Owumalam, I hope I got the name right. And now those they said, no Nigerian coach today is capable of managing the Super Eagles currently. You hear that? And then Seed said, there must be a clear plan. I agree with your guests. Now those days, not like a banter. What I was saying, there are coaches who are good and not very expensive and are very capable. Are you talking about a foreign coach or a local indigenous one? I don't know. And then he said, we liked finish. I know say Nigerian people mouth not too good. People the best. Normally, people mouth not good. See, it's not even people's fault because of how we've been taught, how they don't take turn us around, they pain. It be like the person they shoot pin for body, and so you'll be. And he said, we like finished material. Don't use dump. Okay, now let's move on. Quickly, this one says, Olugbenga says, Nigeria players pulled away from Rwanda game. I hope Benin Republic will help them win it. Win it when it matters most. Then another one, Tom Sainfiant, now they're saying, we could have appointed him. We don't rate him high. We don't rate him. He is with Mali now. When he does extra there, he becomes very expensive, and we say we want him. Are you understanding what he's saying now? He now said, DLC coach Sebastian de Sabre, he said, Nigerian coaches and what is it? Pecuniary reasons are like Siamese twins. Is that what you're saying? Lazy and sitting about, waiting for FA. Okay, waiting for what FA will do for them. All right. So why saying that is enough? What is it saying? I'm sorry. See, it's saying. Let me get this on my mobile quickly. I think it's quite straining. He said, why saying that is enough to allow the men steal the ideas? I don't understand what you're saying. I would like you to bring them again, but you heard all of these comments. Do you buy into them?
Yeah, to a very large extent, they're actually spot on. So, I mean, they were actually corroborating what I was saying.
Yeah.
I've forgotten I think Nadozi or something was saying that we have long-term plan.
Yeah.
Like finished products. That's what we like.
We like finished products.
Yeah, we like finished, food we don't done, more just control. You understand? We know they like to, cook our own for fire. Just imagine that we've trained, top coaches in the world. I mean, let's say, look at the league now. Let's say people managing the league, the coaches in the Nigerian league are a product of the ones that we sent abroad.
Yeah.
To manage, to understudy top teams in Europe. And our national team coach, say, an ex-Barcelona coach or ex...
okay, let me hold you there.
Like that.
It seems we're back to Buja. We've connected again. He went off for a while. Yes, my man, welcome back. If you're here with me, I don't know how long you've been listening to us, but quickly, for everything you said, sincerely, my guest here in the studio went contrary. He's not a fan of Iguavo, and he's saying he does not have the technical know-how. So where is your own love coming from? Do you heard him? Will you go contrary to what you said? Bring it on.
I tend to disagree with so many things he has said during the course of the show, and I'll give you reasons. I know me. I deal with facts and figures. I put it on the table. First of all, he said coaches the NFF should get coaches to go on different clubs across the world. Now, right, the NFF's job is not to develop any coach. It is the duty of the coaches who wants to. You want to become a presenter in sports. You want to become a journalist. You learn, you study, research, study, and restudy to get better, to develop yourself. It's not the job of the NFF to develop anybody. They could help once in a while. They want to be in charge of football. They want the football to thrive, because if you grow, they grow as well. And like you said, if we have had a good manager who is in Nigeria, right now we're not looking for an expatriate. So it is the job of the coaches in Nigeria to develop themselves. Go for refresher courses. Go this days CAF A. Now I can argue that. How many Nigerian coaches has got a CAF B license or a CAF A license? Don't forget, we had it was basically on this. You have to get him to go to those courses. No, it's your job. See, I start to be corrected. Football is not figures. Performance have not played the most flat football in the world. You will not be as maybe the South who is get the job as well. I'm fan of South you know that already. Kiziki. His last game, he lost to the Ubis in Uyo, and also had a bad game against the Republic. Doesn't mean that overall he has done a great job. Look at us. I said once or twice as the coach of the Spikes to the game against Ghana. The game, he was not beaten on the head-to-head rule. So let us not see. I'm not saying he's a messiah. I'm not saying he's the next big thing. I'm not saying he's the man who will come and change Nigerian football and turn it around. No. But this is what I'm saying. If we do not have we cannot get a foreign grade A coach. Listen to me. Grade A coach, not just a foreign coach for the sake of the last coach that managed the Super Eagles of Nigeria foreign scene. In the Super Eagles needed them. Can we go back? Last Lager back. Betty Vote. Genoro. Who were they? Pesero. Who were they before they got to the Super Eagles job? They needed the Super Eagles more than the Super Eagles needed them. So we're not here to develop foreign coaches. We're here to get the best creme de la creme, the best in the world to manage the Super Eagles, because this is, if not the biggest brand in African football, it is the biggest name in African football. So for me, the biggest players are scattered across the world, from the Obis to the Boniface to the Ademola Lookman. These are players playing top leagues in the world, in the top 5 leagues in Europe. So for me, if we can get a coach, which I think we can afford at the moment, and I think and there are so many moments, then we should stick to what works for us. You told me if took 15 million. I
know you've got a lot to talk about on the show, but we need to let you go here. We need to go from now. Our time is up on the show, but hopefully we can connect again tomorrow. I think the network was actually not so clear, but I would love to, hopefully tomorrow. Almost like a banter, but I understand. Thank you so much, Nelson Arinze, our VOP correspondent in Abuja. Thank you so much
for having me. Grateful.
Studio, Lagos, Nigeria. Ikechukwu signing out with you. You're smiling. I know you have a lot to say, but just hold it. I'll take a deep breath. Tomorrow will be another day. We can talk more. Yes, you have a last word for us for now.
Well,
quickly, sorry.
I don't know, but I just hope the NFL does the right.
You're laughing. All right, thank you so much. I need to go. Yes, this is VOP TV. We are Voice of People Television. This is a sports public show that comes away every weekdays, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. But tomorrow will be another time again. It will be a pidgin version of the show. It will be pidgin vernacular. I love to speak that very well. Yes, I remain your host. My name is Kiza K. I'll see you tomorrow, the only football player without a jersey. Tomorrow I'll see you.